Hello, we're back. This is Unscripted Strength again. I think this is episode 12. Am I right
This
about
will
that?
be, yep, this will be 12.
Episode 12. Man, what do I say to you people? Here's the deal. My mom disowned me because
She
no
did.
one got 3 followers on Instagram last week. So she has officially disowned me. No, we appreciate all you guys' questions. I get a lot of people at the gym asking stuff. We have to try to convince Day to come to the gym more often so that people can ask her questions too.
I could sit in the front,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
crank
that'd
out
be
some
cool,
more.
dude. Just sit at the desk and just
Sit.
chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Give a little name tag for you. That'd be
Yeah.
dope.
They'll be like, "Who are you? We don't see you here."
Yeah. No, yeah, we appreciate you guys watching. We really do. Yeah, if you send it to a friend, send it to someone, give us a follow. It's kind of fun. We don't get anything from this except Day and I get to chat and hang out a little bit, and then get to just post our random thoughts and do whatever.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. This is episode 12. I think we have some questions on the YouTube from one of our biggest fans, Shayla. So shout out Shayla for commenting. But I guess we'll get started the way we always do, which is how's training going, Day? You're going
Yeah.
first, dude. Mine's boring.
All right. Mine's not too exciting either. I know last week I was talking about getting more mileage in and just seeing where like body breaks down.
Oh yeah, you broke
Right.
down.
So
right
I've
after our conversation.
Yeah, it was the next day, which I think we recorded on Wednesday, and then Thursday rolls around. So Wednesday I completed 10 miles, 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening. I was tired, but I felt fine. I woke up the next morning and I felt like dog crap, like horrible. And I look at my Whoop and it just confirms like, hey, you should be feeling like dog crap according
Yeah.
to these metrics. And I was like, oh, it's cool. It's like validating my feelings. I'm not going crazy. So that was
Thanks, Whoop. I feel so
yeah. Thanks, man. Or woman. So yeah, so I was like, okay, so I'm not going crazy. Probably I'm just, body's under recovered. I ran 3 miles in the morning still. I was like, let me at least like see if moving will help. So I ran 3 miles and I also wanted to stay on track. I ran a little over 3 miles. I tried to do a 5K. So I did that. Still felt like crap after, and so I was like, okay, it's just one of those days I feel like crap, but I still got some mileage in, which was good. It wasn't a lifting day, so that was good too, so I didn't have to stress about that. And then the next day I woke up and I felt great, so I went for a 10-mile run, and I was back on track. So by the end of the week, I was able to do 45 miles.
Hey,
So,
there we go.
yeah.
Were you at 39 the week before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Somewhere
45
around there.
miles.
Yeah. So I was
That's a
able to do
long
40.
way.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I did the 45 miles. Me and Marley went to the Tortolito Preserve Loop, if that's I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, up in Dove Mountain area. It was super nice. It was like, it's like a 10-mile loop or just shy of 10 miles. So we ran that. It's kind of like trail running. Like there's a lot of parts where it's rocky and all that, and you're like basically just like trying to balance and making sure you don't twist your ankles. That morning though, I woke up with like this crazy like calf soreness. Like my calf was so tight, so I was kind of like limping before the run, and I also had like stomach issues because I have a sensitive tummy. So I was like, this could be bad. I could potentially shit myself on this run or twist an ankle or something.
Yeah, it would have been a good story though.
It would have been a great story, but
Maybe you should have just done it.
so I went on the run and I didn't. So I was like, what a waste of a good story. Yeah. So
it's all right.
So on that run, I hit the 45-mile mark. So that was cool. And then, this week I was like, all right, it's been 4 weeks of just building. So this week I'm doing exclusively Stairmaster just to kind of,
my God.
So just doing Stairmaster.
You're going from 45 miles a week of running to no running and just doing the Stairmaster?
A small amount of running. So I'll do like 15 miles of running this week. And then
But how many
supplement.
minutes of the Stairmaster are you doing?
It's like an hour per session,
Oh my
It's like a
God,
session
that
per day. It's not bad. It's really not bad. By the time I get out of it, like my heart rate's pretty low the whole time. Like I could keep my heart rate pretty low on those. It doesn't feel as fatiguing on my legs. Like I could pretty much hold up pretty well with it. So in terms of a readiness standpoint, like I feel better the day after.
I'm not
So
talking about the physical demand. I'm talking about the mental fortitude to get on
oh
a
that,
Stairmaster for an hour every
oh dude,
day.
it's so easy because I just put a freaking YouTube video on and I'm watching TV essentially.
Just climbing
So
stairs.
yeah, yeah. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I still got like 10 minutes of this YouTube episode. So I'll like, because it stops after 60 minutes. So I'll just like restart it, the Stairmaster, to get the last 10 minutes in.
You're rad, dude. You're
So
rad. That's
it's not,
crazy. I love
it's
it.
not, it's not as bad. So yeah, I'm doing that this week just to kind of like let my body recover, so that I can hit 50 miles next week. So that's the plan.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
That's fun. But one of the key takeaways I want to hit real quick for anyone listening, and this I think kind of goes with the video, the reel we put out on Instagram from last week. Day felt bad. Day kind of just see how it went, adjusted, and then the next day everything's fine. So
Yeah.
if you're feeling bad, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just do what you can.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
alright.
And one thing to mention too is on that run that I did with Marley, on that loop, the trail run, like my calf was like again super tight, and it was hard to like put pressure on it at first.
Mhm.
So I went in. At first, I was overthinking it. I feel like the whole morning I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Eventually, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it out. So I almost backed out, but I was just like, you know what? I really want to do this loop. I heard really good things about it. So we started, and once my blood started getting like flowing and I warmed my body up, like literally the whole 10-mile run, which includes a bunch of like loose rocks and like me twisting my ankles, like my calf felt fine. Like I did not feel it. At the end, it was like kind of there, but not as bad in the beginning. And right now, I feel completely fine. So, it's so easy to overthink it. It
Yeah.
really is. So like I don't blame people for overthinking it, but
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that too goes with what we were saying, where it's like if you wake up and like if it wasn't an acute injury and you wake up just like a little sore, a lot of times that stuff kind of just works itself out. Like
yeah,
warm up a little bit more, take it easy, but like acute injuries are acute injuries, but waking up a little bit stiff. I feel like it's
yeah,
just like the older I get and the longer I do this, that kind of just feels like the human experience. I've never met anyone who wakes up and is just like, I feel great.
yeah,
Nothing at all. They're like, I just feel fantastic. I don't feel any of my joints. I've never felt
yeah,
any of them. And if you do, great. But I really think that you are in the minority. You're not. Truthfully, like the athletes. I mean, kickboxers. None of them. Everyone
yeah,
walks in. They're like, everything hurts. And you're like, cool,
yeah,
sick. Let's do this. And there's
yeah.
no way the triathletes get in there and they're like, I
I
feel
feel,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
you know.
There's always a
So
knee, there's feet, there's
yeah.
ankles, low back, grip,
Yeah.
shoulders.
hmm
Yeah, there's always
Yeah,
something.
it's just a human experience, and I maybe this sounds so crazy, but I don't think people realize that. I think that maybe sometimes how like the online fitness world is, like if I'm thinking about it, not many people I watch ever talk about like the aches and pains and stuff they're dealing with. So
Mm,
then we have all these people that we train, especially in Gen Pop, they're like, watch these people and they're like they just never hear it. It's never programmed into them that these people they watch also have injuries, or like
yeah,
little bumps, bruises, tightness, like people who see me at the gym don't know that my left hip has given me problems for like 4 straight years. That
yeah,
like I have to warm my hips up pretty regularly. Running hurts my hip flexor, same spot that hurts when I squat. There's something there, but
mm,
I don't know. If you're listening and you're not a fitness person and you're like just living through life trying to stay healthy, we all hurt. It's normal. You're all right.
yeah, yeah,
It's normal. You'll be all right. Well, thanks for the update on your training. That's pretty rad. That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
It's been good. It's been good.
Going for 50 miles. Day's gonna try
Yeah,
to do 1,000 miles a week. Everybody, that's her plan.
yeah.
That's her end
I
goal.
mean, where's the limit, right? So we'll see. Imagine. I
You
don't
sh-
know. I think 55. I feel it. Like I was so tired. Like there was that bump last week, and then I was starting to get aches and pains. So I think 55, 60.
Okay,
Might be like,
I have an idea.
yeah,
This is a live idea. You should just record like maybe you could do the Stairmaster week too if you want, you psycho. But the week after, you should record. You should see how like just like small recordings and throw them on the stories or something, or like put them all
yeah.
together, like and see how many miles you can get up and just like throw them on a reel or on our story, and we can put it on the um, dashboard or whatever,
That'd be pretty cool.
and see how many miles you can get
I
to.
could finally use my GoPro that I bought and haven't used.
Oh yeah,
How
dude,
exciting.
that'd be
Yeah.
sick. You should do that.
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be big videos, you know.
Yeah. Small
I
clips.
mean,
Yeah.
if they were long videos, it would just be watching you run.
Yeah. It's the boredom in my face after mile 3 of every
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
Oh, does it? Does it? I've the longest I did was 6 on a treadmill, and that was boring. But 10
Yeah.
miles is. I mean, you're with Marley, so I guess it's a little different. But solo, it's got to
Yeah.
be kind of boring.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets kind of boring. Again, like I'm someone I just put in a podcast, right?
Yeah,
Like
and you're fine.
and yeah, sometimes I do silent runs, but it really
Yeah,
depends on like my mood and where my mental state is. Sometimes I
that's
need the
fair.
quiet, sometimes I want to listen to something.
Yeah.
But how's your training?
My foot feels a lot better. I don't even know if I mentioned it on the podcast a few weeks ago, but I messed my foot up running.
I think you briefly mentioned it.
It was Carmen's fault. I did say to
She
her
did
that I
tell
was
me
going to
that.
blame her. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
she did
Carmen's
tell me
fault.
about to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Carmen's fault. If you don't know Carmen, she's a great dietitian, super smart, hurts people's feet. So,
Yeah, she
no,
does
we went
that.
on a run. I'm dumb, and I think just too much volume, too much. I added jumping and running and blah blah blah, and like we were saying
Yeah.
earlier, shit happens. We finished the 3 mile run, and it actually felt really good. I hadn't done a 3 mile run since I messed up my ankle like two
Hmm.
months ago, and I had that tendon pain. And then
Was it the
Carmen
same
texted
side?
me. Yeah, same side, same
Okay.
foot, like 4 inches farther down my foot. So instead of my
Okay.
ankle, like more distal, farther away. Um, like at the metatarsal head of my pinky toe, like where it
Okay.
connects to the foot, like exactly where that is. I stopped running and I was like, oh man, like we were just chatting. I was like, oh, my foot feels kind of weird like this. Every time I take a step, it aches, and my feet ached, specifically my right one. And
Hmm.
then I made the joke to Carmen, I'm gonna tell everyone you hurt my foot. And she was
And
like,
she
that's fine, you can do that.
and she did. It was
She
her
did. No,
fault.
Carmen didn't hurt my foot. I'm dumb. But yeah, I went home and I was like, man, this thing kind of hurts. As soon as I stop walking, it starts to calm down. The more I walk, the worse it got. And it like the next morning, every step was like I had like 10 minutes where it didn't hurt to walk. It like you could feel it, but nothing bad. And then all of a sudden, it was like a 6 or a 7. I was limping. And
Mm.
then I was like, I don't want to limp because then it's gonna hurt my back and my hip. So I'm just gonna walk normal. So then I was like walking and flexing my foot normally. So I didn't walk with a peg leg, and that just made it way worse. But I was like, I'd rather deal with this pain than also it move up my knee and my hip.
Yeah.
And that lasted for about 2 weeks. It was just like constant pain every time
Yeah.
I walked. Only got worse, but it's feeling better now. So I'm gonna run a half mile this week, and see how it goes. And then my lifting has been actually relatively good. I've done some fun like CrossFit circuit style workouts that have been a good time. Throwing stuff, jumping a little bit, but nothing real intense.
Yeah.
And some cardio thrown in there. My workouts have been a little more cardio, through like circuit style, so not super heavy. Put a
Yeah.
timer on, see how fast I can finish stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, my training's been also kind of boring. I've hurt my foot twice now, so the race in October I'm definitely not doing unless I think I can run 26.2 miles
Oh, I
in
forgot it was a
in
full
3 weeks.
marathon.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is, yeah.
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 Not a good
Suggest
idea.
we
Anyway,
we don't do that.
yeah. So I'm just gonna take it slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. There's the Apex stuff that I talked to you about, that I think would be fun for anyone listening. There's a new event called Apex. What is it? You don't remember exactly what it's called?
I thought it was just Apex, but
Apex Official, something like
maybe.
that. Apex Athlete Official. You guys should go throw them a follow. It looks really cool. It's basically like an
Yeah.
adult combine. If you're not familiar, the combine is a test event that athletes do. Basically, just shows their athletic ability. So I've been doing a little bit of training for that, just kind of like adding some of the stuff they have in. And it's a med ball toss for distance, a height jump, approach jump, so you got to jump up, a broad jump, a 40-yard dash, a bench press AMRAP, as many reps as possible at 225 pounds, a trap bar deadlift at 315 for reps for in 1 minute, and a 1 mile run. So,
Mm-hmm.
training for that's kind of fun. Man, I think that's it. I wrecked myself this weekend, so my workout Sunday and Monday was construction for 9 hours or 8 hours on Sunday and like 6 hours on Monday. And for anyone who's not done it, it's kind of rough sometimes. But yeah, that's about it. I've had a headache for 2 days and it's finally going away. And that's my life in a nutshell. That's boring, boring training.
Yeah. I know for everyone listening, we were talking about the construction manual labor type work. And Ethan was telling me about his weekend doing that. And I mentioned like building the squat rack is as close to manual labor as I've done in my life. And that wiped me out. Like I just remember being so tired at the end of the day. And my dad hasn't stepped foot in a gym since I've never seen him go into a gym. I'm assuming the last time he's ever been to one, if he's ever, was when he was like a teenager. And if you were to see my dad, he's like peeled, like has a good amount of muscle on him. He's slender, but he's like peeled. Like he looks like he works out and looks like a calisthenics build. Yeah. And like he flexes and like, you just see like his chest striations. You see his six pack. He's 61 years old.
That's wild,
so,
dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all manual labor. Like, and he also doesn't stop moving. Like he's a very like, he's everywhere. And when I go visit home, sometimes I'll go to whatever site he's working at, which is like usually apartments and buildings and all that. And he's moving, he's carrying things, he's going up and down stairs, and it's like, it's crazy. It's just like, just move,
Yeah, construction guys would be in the best shape of anyone on the planet if they didn't eat
like crap. Yeah.
like crazy people and didn't drink copious amounts of alcohol. Not everyone, honestly, obviously, but
yeah.
if you are someone who has been in the trades, you're not going to come for me because I'm right.
Yeah.
It's just common.
It is
to
super
eat like
common.
shit, drink soda all day, go home, crack 6 beers. Not a beer, not one glass, 6.
They have very similar diets to like truck drivers.
Yeah.
Like
you mean like Circle K
chips.
taquitos?
Yes, yeah.
Dude, I've eaten thousands of those. They're incredible and give you talk about tummy aches, dude. Holy.
Yeah.
If I get tummy aches from it, you should go get a couple of QT, see how you feel.
Yep. I used to go last year. I would go every afternoon. Last semester, I would go every afternoon with a coworker, and we'd go to Circle K. That's across the street from McHale. We'd go down. We'd get our Circle K taquito and our energy drink.
Yes, dude.
That was like our daily thing.
That didn't hurt
awesome.
your tummy?
No. Well, okay. So I feel like my
dad
tummy's...
made you, right? He built you for construction.
It's in my genes.
I'm made. You.
Yeah. It's like that didn't upset my tummy. Other things do, but that one I was pretty okay with it.
Hell yeah, dude. They're so good.
They are really good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're hungry.
Electrolytes, yeah. You get all your sodium for like the next 3 days, so it's perfect.
Dude, yeah.
All right, so that's our training. We did have, unless you have a specific thing you want to ask or talk about, we have some questions that we could answer.
Yeah, let's look at the questions.
Okay, the first one is a little more complicated. Shayla asked us the difference between, or she said, quick question on vanity supplements. Let me read this more. Blood work showed elevated creatinine levels. She takes creatine for powerlifting. What's our experience with this? Have you seen similar cases? I don't believe that creatinine and creatine are the same thing.
No, they're not related. No. I think creatinine has to do with the kidney.
Yeah, waste product.
Yeah. So that's kidney. And I think I don't know.
Does the liver make creatine?
Creatine? I don't know. I don't know the exact. But
the liver, pancreas, and kidneys make about 1 gram of creatine per day. But no, creatinine and creatine are not the same thing and are like different substrates that do different things. I do not believe they're related in any way. like high levels of creatinine in the blood do not mean your creatine is too high. But you could also message Carmen and see if she has a good answer. I'm sure Carmen has a very good answer that us two dumbos don't have. But yeah, I think no. Creatine's also the most studied. You know, I've heard this on a million podcasts, but it's the most studied supplement out there. Very safe. If you've listened to the earlier podcasts, you will know 20 milligrams at once. What does it do, Day?
Gets
Have
past.
we talked about this?
No.
Oh, we haven't talked about this?
No.
Maybe it was me and Joseph. I'll tell everyone, if you take 20 milligrams of creatine a day, which is 5, it's not grams, right?
5 milligrams.
Yeah, 5 milligrams is the recommended daily dose for most people most of the time. If you take 20, you have diarrhea for 2 days. So, and that's obviously probably not everybody, but in my experience, now there was some research that they were doing on its effects on the brains and the brain and focus and cognitive stuff, and it was like, 20 milligrams a day, and I'm smart enough
to
see
my bad,
that.
it's grams, not milligrams.
Okay, grams. 5 grams a day is the daily recommended dose, and I was
thinking of caffeine, where caffeine's like in milligrams, like 600 milligrams. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Good clarification, because milligrams and grams are way different.
Yes. Yes, they are.
So yeah, I took 20 grams of creatine because the study was giving people 20 grams. I did not read deep enough to see that they spread it through the day. So I took 20 at once. Let me tell you, talk about a cleanse. So don't do that. But yeah, creatine's really good. Helps your muscles fire in the short periods. Good for powerlifting, obviously, but good for everything. Also good for your brain. There are some studies on menopause and perimenopause with creatine and it being helpful. So there's also good information out there about that.
Yeah.
That'd be my answer.
For sure. Yeah, and there's
anything?
No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, like with creatine, it's just like I just recommend it for everyone, general population, athletes, people who want to be healthy, people who want to be strong. I think everyone should be taking it if they're not getting it through their diet. And if someone wants to read more about it, like there's so many studies out there. And like Ethan was saying, in all these different areas regarding like concussion, recovery, getting stronger, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, especially if she's doing powerlifting.
Yeah, she is the one who wanted to deadlift 300 pounds that we talked about.
Awesome.
And it is endogenous, which means your body creates it itself. So it's not like you're adding something that you don't already make. Not that's like a nature fallacy. However, your body already makes it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's some weird random thing that you're just adding to your body, like meth. Your body doesn't make meth, don't add that. Okay, what was the next question? Let's see. Did we answer crystals? Okay, nope. Next one is also from Shayla. We're just gonna answer all of Shayla's questions today.
Yeah, the Shayla show.
Oh, this was one I wish we had answered. She said, "Hi again, Day and Ethan. Regarding low bar squat mechanics, does arm placement impact stability or bar path efficiency? For instance, is it generally better to keep the elbows tucked closer to the torso versus taking a wider grip on the bar, assuming adequate shoulder mobility?" That's a very good part of the question to be asking. Or is arm position primarily a matter of individual comfort? So for anyone wondering what high bar and low bar squatting is, it is a squat. I don't even have anything to put on my shoulders. That goes really high up here on my traps versus a low bar which sits like 4 to 5 inches lower on my rear delts. Day, you want to answer first?
Yeah, what was because I know there were several parts to that question. So she's
basically asking about, I'll expand the question a little bit about rib placement and hand placement for low bar squatting and its stability for the back and or bar path.
Yeah, so if you were to look at if you go to a powerlifting meet, you'll see like those variations in squatting, high bar, low bar. And what you'll notice is when someone's doing a low bar, it looks kind of weird, honestly, like when you're seeing someone do it, but they tend to lean forward a little bit more. So it puts someone more in a lean forward position, which can be optimal for some people. And I've mentioned this like several times, in terms like that depends on your proportions, what's more comfortable for you. For me personally, I'm actually a leaned forward squatter. If I'm upright, like that usually puts a lot of strain on my back and I can't get good depth, and it's actually like kind of painful. It's not meant for like my body type. So low bar squatting actually is preferable for me. And when I was doing powerlifting, I would go towards that low bar. In terms of if you have adequate shoulder mobility versus, I know she said going wide or closer.
Versus narrow, yeah.
Yeah, I just always go narrower. I've seen people go, the people who I've seen who go wider, it's because of that shoulder restriction mobility, or sometimes bodybuilders, which bodybuilders tend to go wider because they have that immobility, right? And when I say like bodybuilders, I mean like the heavyweight bodybuilders, not like,
The open
the
class.
yeah, exactly. And so the ones who are like very bulky and have a lot of muscle mass, they can't be in that position, so they tend to go wide. But most of the time, if you're able to go in that closer position, that creates a little bit more stability. You can hold it a little tighter to your body.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I would say I fully agree that your hands being as close in as possible. And you can try this, Shayla, and anyone who is doing low bar squats. If you put your arms all the way out here on the bar and hang them, you can't tighten your back down to pull against the bar. But if you get it really close, you can get your shoulder blades closer. You can get your whole upper back a little more set to keep the bar in position. Because if you go really wide and the bar folds you like this, and you've already lost at that point. But if you can pack the bar really tight down, it makes a lot better brace for the upper back specifically. Because you got to remember, and I think people forget this who are or don't know this who are getting into squatting, your legs handle the pushing, but your back has to carry the bar. So you can only squat as much as your back can tolerate. Your upper back and lower back and mid back. Yeah, you're putting a bar on your back, and your back now is a lever connected to your hip, right? Like if you have a really weak back but super strong legs, you could probably hack squat or leg press a lot, but as soon as you throw a bar in your back, you'll find out if your back's strong or not.
Yeah.
I know Shayla and I have talked about that a lot. That you have to have if you want to be a really good squatter, I've never seen a good squatter with a small back. I will say that. They always
Mm.
have monstrous backs because you
Yeah.
got to put it there. It has to hold
That's
it
a good
up.
point.
Your spinal erectors, your shoulder blades have to sit in position so you can have some thoracic extension, which just means my chest comes through a little bit and my ribs stay down, but I have to be able to be here really strong. Pull my shoulder
Yeah.
blades back, pack everything.
Yeah.
And then I think that's all
Another
she
thing
has.
too with low bar squatting, like I said, it's more preferential for someone who is one of those lean forward squatters, and it also puts you in a good initial position. So when you're doing like if you're one of those people, you usually have one of those like early hip hinges where when you're like setting the bar, you tend to already break at the hip and your setup. And if
Hmm.
you're doing low bar squat, it allows for that. It allows you to
Hmm.
break at the hips a little bit more and have that early hip hinge versus someone who's a more of an upright squatter. High bar allows you to kind of stay upright a little bit more, and you're not going to really utilize that early hip hinge in your setup. You're going to start from like a straight position. So that too, in terms of like setting up, I know that's a huge thing in powerlifting is making sure that you're set up and you have that routine and you're in the good positions before you go through the movement. Yeah, I think that's important too. Low bar really allows you to do that.
Yeah, low bar, if anyone is listening who's never seen it, you can just go on YouTube or Instagram and just type in low bar back squat and then type in high bar back squat or Olympic squats, and they are wildly different. And you will notice, like, if you watch an Olympic weightlifter squat, they are really vertical. Their chest and chin are really high up. And
Yeah.
like Day is saying, their knees come forward and their butt drops straight down for the most part. But a low bar squatter, they'll almost like, if this is my back, they will hinge like this and
Yeah.
just squat, and that hinge never goes away. They just use their legs and their whole back supports the thing. I also prefer low bar squatting and had to like really work on high bar squatting because I also prefer to hinge. I think it's
Yeah.
just more comfortable. Um, but it's it's definitely weird at first. You're like, what do you mean lean forward? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're hinging, but it's gonna feel like you're looking straight down at the floor a little bit.
It does feel exaggerated as you're doing it. It feels like you're really like you're already in a good morning position. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like a quarter of the way down a good morning. You're like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
ready to squat. But when you do that hinge for the first time really well and you drop straight into it, you can really feel how the bar does not move back or forth at all. Like the
Yeah.
hinge sets your hips in a way that you're like, all right, I'm just gonna lower myself with my
Yeah.
legs, and it feels really. I'm so much better strength wise at low bar squatting than I am at high bar squatting, and I think most people are, but
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
fun. I should low
someone
bar
where
squat.
when I do a high bar squat, if you were to like anything like above 80-ish% of my 1 rep max. You'll notice I'm one of those people, like I drive my hips up first and then I drive, and then like I basically just like good morning the bar up. I do it all the time. It's like a bad movement pattern. Bad as in like not optimal, right? It's not
Sure.
hurting me or anything, but just not optimal. So when I low bar squat, it puts me in good position so I don't do that. So when I low bar squat, like my squat looks good, right? Like I'm not coming up with my ass and then my shoulders. High bar squatting is where I struggle, which is why I do a
Yeah.
lot of front squatting to kind of like,
Oh yeah. You
because
can't
like
cheat it.
my, yeah, I'm like, I can't cheat it. I keep, like, I'm so much stronger in my posterior chain than I am interior. So I try to front squat for that reason.
Yeah. And an inside baseball for all the people listening that are not coaches. That's something that we are looking for. When I'm watching you squat, is your hip and your shoulder should move like that at the same exact time.
Yeah.
You should push up. I mean, it's probably more like your shoulders relatively close to your hip, but it goes like this. What she's saying is her hips come out this way, and then she sends it back up. So she throws
Yeah.
her hips away, and then good morning's the bar. I mean, she's using her legs, but
I'm
yeah,
back.
just yeah, just let's see how much I can good morning today.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Good mornings are great.
Yeah.
I love
I
them.
love that. I love them.
All right. Next question from Shayla. Shout out Shayla, dude. Three
Yeah,
questions we gotta
Shayla.
answer. Shayla's the goat. This one is interesting. First of all, Shayla, thanks for the compliment. She said, thanks for the compliment and shout out. So, yes, I love you. But she said, without your love of coaching and lifting, we wouldn't be nearly as motivated to push for big things. So, I definitely just try to help out. The question she has is, lately I've been training 5 times a week with 4 dedicated to powerlifting, but I've noticed my appetite has tanked and my numbers have dropped 20-ish%. Recovery markers look good, no DOMs, no lingering pain, but fueling is the weak link right now. Any strategies you recommend for managing appetite suppression while keeping strength progression on track? Um, hmm, that's a tough one. My question would be,
Mm.
are you trying to suppress your appetite for a specific reason, or is it just feeling suppressed more than usual? In that case, I would say you should probably talk to a professional because if your appetite all of a sudden is just gone and nothing's changed, like your sleep, your stress, whatever, and it's just like you don't have an appetite for no reason, that's out of my league, sister. Talk to one of them
Yeah.
professionals about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because usually if all other recovery markers are looking good and there's like no stress and nothing else has changed, then that leads me to wonder like what it could be. Um, like one reason I could think of is like, do you have high inflammation? And that's why like your stomach just does not want any food right now. And like maybe it's like needs a fat, let's say like you do a 24-hour fast to kind of like bring inflammation down. Like, is it that, or are you just feeling good and it's just like, but you're just not hungry? Is it because you're super busy? So usually like if you're busy, you're not as hungry because like you're moving around doing all these other things. But yeah, and if it's impacting performance too, then there's something going on. I would be curious to see like what that is because that is an unusual case.
Yeah. Also, like, how many days has it, like, how often or how many consecutive days? Like, is it every once in a while? Because, like Day said, we are both guilty of, like, I'll work for way too long and realize I've had maybe 600 calories and no protein and like, a coffee, something for breakfast, and an energy drink just to keep doing. It's not good, but sometimes you just got to get stuff done and I just forget to eat. So, if you're busy and stressed, I think that definitely can affect the way you fuel yourself. Just from my own personal experience, I know Dave, we've talked about that a lot. But yeah, I would say, if you're into like a week of your numbers have just tanked, everything else feels fine. My recommendations for managing appetite and trying to get protein, liquid protein, I think people just don't put enough stock in. Like if you're having a hard time getting the protein in and you can take in 2 protein shakes or like a protein bar and a protein shake and it doesn't make your stomach hurt and you can get 60 grams of protein from that. I mean, liquid protein is just goated to me, honestly, as someone who works too much and needs to get protein. And the other day I got 2 of like the protein chocolate milks and I just slammed those because I was behind. And then I had dinner with it. So
Yeah.
like just you can drink it indiscriminately as long as it doesn't hurt your stomach. I'm not saying that's the best method. You want your micronutrients and your fiber and your real whole foods and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
liquid protein, please.
Right. They're good emergency backups.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm curious too. Did she say anything about like did she recently change her diet? Has she been eating anything differently?
Mm,
Because like she eats something that now she's, let's say she started eating foods with more fiber. Maybe that's why
yeah.
like her hunger is going down. If that has changed, then I could see that too.
Yeah.
If you're eating like a lot of processed foods and now you're eating a little bit more whole foods and now it's like you feel more full, but you're actually eating less calorically,
Yeah.
speaking, that could be something. But I don't know. I don't think she mentioned that, did she?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
No, I would, like also if you are doing 4 powerlifting days with an extra day of lifting and you've been doing that for a long time and you're hitting big numbers all the time, that can be pretty fatiguing.
Yeah.
So you could take like a week and like just chop the fifth day off or chop one of the powerlifting days or honestly chop whatever day you like the least and then just kind of tone down the intensity for a week and just see if you kind of straighten out that way. Because there's
Yeah.
sometimes where you just like part of the reason I think Day's doing a next week of just a Stairmaster is to give her body a little bit of like a breather. She's still doing
Yeah.
stuff, still moving, still working hard, but not just constantly chipping away at the wall to see when the water comes through. She's like
Yeah.
letting it rebuild for a second. So,
Yeah. And one reason I'm doing that too, like uh I've noticed is I I've been like inflamed. So like if I were to look at my ankles, like one thing I've noticed is they've been like swollen for sometimes like randomly throughout the week. So they've been looking a little bit more swollen. Same thing with my wrist, and I feel inflammation too, like around my midline and all that. So and sometimes I see it like in my eyes. And
hmm
so when I feel it like in my gut, like when I'm eating, like it just I could feel like something's wrong, like inflammation wise, like my gut microbiome isn't great, whatever, if you're talking about that. But so all those things, I'm just like, okay, like my body now is like under this high stress load. And I think in terms of work wise, I don't think it was work because actually it was like an easier week of work for me. So it's obviously doing like that higher activity stuff. So I'm like, if I want to continue doing like if I want to run the 50 miles per week and all that, if I were to do that this week, like I don't think my body wanted to do like wanted to do that. Could I think so. I think I could push through,
hmm
but I don't it wasn't a smart choice, right? And what I've noticed too is actually right, you're doing more activity. Sometimes people think like more activity you lose weight. I actually was gaining weight from all the inflammation and all that too. So I've mentioned this to Ethan before, but I try to track as much metrics as I can for fun. So I do weigh myself, not for like weight purposes. Like I'm not
hmm
monitoring my weight or anything, but it gives me a good idea of like fluctuations, and it gives me more insight to how my body's responding to things. I don't do it for the aesthetics part of it, but more just get more information. And so I've noticed that my weight, as I do more activity, my weight tends to go up. So
Yeah.
it's been up like 5 pounds since I've been running more. Part of it's inflammation. Part of it's because I'm eating more now that I'm hungrier and all that stuff. But I've gone through phases too where I'm working out more and I'm not as hungry and I still gain weight. Like, the body's weird. It does weird things, but yeah, I kind of use like those things. I think having inflammation is one thing where I kind of like, I'm like, okay, I need a deload because like when my body's that highly like inflamed, to me is kind of like a red flag to kind of just like step back a bit before I go back, like before I take 2 steps forward.
Yeah. To clarify for everyone, when you say your body's inflamed, do you mean to like, do your joints bother you ever? Like, do you just like kind of feel crummy in general
Yeah,
too?
yeah. So
Yeah.
like I do feel like a little bit more joint pain. Nothing crazy, but and it's pretty acute. Like it goes down really quick. Like it doesn't linger on too long, but I do feel that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And that's this week is very similar. The construction stuff, and I will admit, this weekend had a little bit of fun with some friends and my mom and some family. Had a few drinks, a few more than I normally would. Had a good time. But
Yeah.
definitely, I don't drink often, and I can feel it when I do. And I like Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. I my workout was bench press, deadlifts, and some lat pull downs. So I just tried to like bare minimum it. And I put 135 pounds on my bench press, which is my warm up, and I unracked the bar and I could feel every joint from my collarbone to my wrist. Like just like you're saying, inflamed, achy.
Yeah.
And I did 8 reps and put it racked it and was like, "Oh my God, I feel terrible." That feels awful. And then I did like 2 more sets, 2 or 3 more, and it wasn't until the fourth set where I was like, okay, finally feel like there's some kind of lubrication in my joints and they're operating. So I'm definitely taking it easy this week and
Yeah.
feel the same way.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think we got all the questions. I'm looking through the more recent ones. I think we got everything else after that. Someone a month ago did say on one of the episodes we were talking about donuts and cookies that they could not eat just one donut or cookie. I'm either eating the entire sleeve or not eating it all. The only thing I will say to that is I feel like if you have like a highly restrictive nature of eating, and then when it's like to me, you're putting so much pressure on that door that the moment you open it and those donuts come in the house, the floodgates have opened and it's really hard to control. If you when you buy that donut, give yourself permission to just enjoy it and leave it alone. It's so much easier to not eat an entire thing of Oreos, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just my own
Yeah.
opinion on that. I don't like restrictive eating stuff. I'm a big eat what you want, add what you need.
Yeah.
Just eat food. No bad food, just food.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's common. I think it's common because people are so restrictive. Like, hey, this is bad. This is good. Um, God, it's so common. I think I mentioned that in that previous episode about like it being so common in bodybuilding. Like
Yeah.
once you have like the ability to, your show is done, you just go as hard as you
Yeah.
can, like to the point where you're getting like sick and
Hmm.
it's gross.
You're
It's
like, how
definitely
would
disgusting.
6 pizzas feel right now in my stomach?
Yeah, yeah,
Probably good.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll say this again because you said it a second ago, but there's no good or bad food. You can come after me for that. Food doesn't have morals. If you think it does, go Google what morals means. There's no good or bad food. I mean, even like poison's not good or bad, you know? It's
yeah.
toxic.
What is it? What's the saying where it's like toxicity is in the dosage?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They say that a lot in like pharmaceuticals and all that, like
Hmm.
toxicity is in the dosage.
Yeah, the poison's in the dose.
Yeah, that's the saying.
Yeah, because
Poisons
apples
in
have
the
what, like arsenic or cyanide in them?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Is it
think
arsenic? Yeah,
I
arsenic.
think arsenic, which I
Trace
think
amounts.
yeah. Which I think is there's also trace amounts in white rice as
Hmm.
well. A
Yeah.
lot of grains. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why like people who are really into that, they'll emphasize like washing the rice, boiling the rice, throwing away that water, doing it again, letting it sit in the fridge, like the whole process of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you introduce stomach acid, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but yeah. Um, what else you got?
I have an idea for the next episode, so I have to write it down or else I forget.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't got anything. Oh, what do you think? Okay, what do you think about that whole thing with Maha and the 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups? Not. Let's not get political, but let's.
What I mean, what is the test? Oh, you got to do it in 5 minutes.
I think the original test is do it in under 10 minutes. But
Really?
they themselves were trying to do it under 5 because they're a bunch of dudes
Under
hanging
12
out.
minutes?
I think under 10 is the
Oh.
original test.
What do I think of that test? I mean, I think it's as arbitrary as any physical standardized
Yeah.
testing can be. And
Yeah.
it's nothing special. Like the prince or the presidential test that they brought back that I did in middle school.
Mhm.
It's like the pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups,
Which
mile
I
run.
never did. I don't remember ever doing that. And I
Oh,
went to a public school
yeah, we did it. I got
and
a
we're the
red shirt
same
for
age.
it. I got a red shirt because I did the elite level.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the year before I found I was introduced to drugs and alcohol.
Oh shoot.
I was in
Man.
such good shape. I was on like a state champion football team. I was doing great, and I did like 14 pull-ups in eighth grade. Or
Yeah.
yeah, eighth grade, and I did great. Yeah, I was so stoked I got that red shirt. It was so cool.
It's
Um,
just, yeah, I don't remember. I remember everyone, like, growing up in elementary school, I know everyone always talks about doing the mile test and all that. I never ran a mile. I
oh
never
my
had to do
God.
any of that stuff. At least not that I remember, unless I blacked out or something. But like, I never remember doing any of that stuff. So
At Cross Middle School, we had to do a mile and a quarter or something. Mile and a quarter, mile and a half. I don't remember. And every other Friday, I think it was like you had to do the RAM test,
oh,
which was
really?
yeah, it was like the mascot was a ram, so that was like the ram test. But yeah, you had to do it all. You had to do it, and kids would get exemptions, whatever they would do. But yeah, you had to
Yeah.
do that test. What do I think of it? I think it's fine. I mean, I think in general, the way you make a healthier adult population is encourage in a positive way kids to be more into taking care of themselves. Don't know if the way to do that is the this devolved into something else. What do I think of the test? It's fine. It's
Yeah.
whatever. It's like doing the Murph. Totally
With
different because that's
less.
for
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah.
it's a
There's meaning
fitness. Yeah,
behind the
yeah.
word.
There's a very very good meaning behind it. But it's like it's a it's a physical fitness test.
Yeah. With
They're
no leg
arbitrary.
component, just
Yeah.
upper body.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's
It's
a good
like,
point. I didn't
let's
even
do
think about that, dude.
max bicep curls. That's what it feels like to me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, like
just like,
what is it accomplishing? Do they want to do it for something or is it just like, "Hey, so you can do this?"
I think it's kind of like part of it is bringing back, and this is in my terms, I don't know what terms they're using, but bringing back like the warrior spirit in like the military and stuff. I think part of it has
That's
to do
funny.
with military.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, which the
yeah.
military now is also changing up standards too. The Air Force test is changing. They
To be
just
more
sent out like
difficult.
an, yeah, so it's gonna be twice a year versus once a year, so once every 6 months. And then it's a 2 mile run versus a 1 mile run, one
How
and a
long do you
half
have to
mile
do it?
run. The standards, so there's like different standards for each, like age,
Yeah, sure.
sex. So there's all those things, and then there's points for these different categories, right? But like, so I don't know what the standards are now. I think they're like proportionally the same as the one
Hmm.
and a half miles, so it's not hard at all. But I don't think many people are ready for it, just based on and this is speaking from the Air Force side of things. I know
Sure.
like the Marines and all of them, they're fine. You could tell them run 20 miles and they'll be like, okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it'll be a wake up call for some people. But yeah, so it's just they're just gonna start getting that going. I think early next 2026.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I think if you join the military, like you're joining the military,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we don't need to go into
It's
politics,
part
but
of the
just think,
job.
yeah,
Yeah,
think about what that word means and what they
yeah,
do. You know,
yeah,
it's like if you're in the fire department, there's a physical standard not because it's like arbitrary and cool. It's because like, hey,
yeah,
this hose is heavy. Also, someone in a building you need to drag out, very heavy. So yeah, there should be some kind of standard that has to be done so that people do the thing physically they need to do. But yeah, I think I don't know. The thing to me that I gets frustrating is like there's a lot of talk about like adults being healthier, and I think that's great. But you got to start with kids.
yeah,
Kids become the adults, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of adults now that just like don't give a shit about themselves, and were never educated on why that's important and how to do
yeah,
it. And really hard to unteach 40 years of programming. So.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't think the way like the emphasis is always on like the weird thing to convince people to do something. It's not on like, hey, what if we just like educate them about how to care about themselves? It's like,
yeah,
no, they gotta run a mile. And then it's like, why?
yeah.
And it's like, oh no, 'cause it said so. It's like, all right, sick dude, that's really smart, really really smart. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause kids are like, why the hell do I have to do these pull-ups? I'll never do pull-ups again. And it's like, that's not the point. But the kids never see that. No one ever. Tell me, there's probably great coaches out there in eighth grade, seventh grade, whatever. However, are these people really educating on the vast, like the big numbers? I mean, that's what's important, I think. But
yeah.
Let's just make them run a mile. Let's just make them be dogs. The warrior
Yeah.
spirit in kids. That's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah.
The warrior spirit in children. It's a really good idea. Love that.
Yeah.
We want kids to be warriors.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck
Exactly.
that means.
It goes back into that like debate that, is very common and you see it all around where it's like, why don't they ever teach like how to do taxes and be an adult in like high school? Like you never learn that stuff until you're
Mhm.
actually in the situation where you're like, oh crap, I have to do taxes. Same
Sure.
thing. It's like they don't teach how to live a healthy life.
Yeah.
None of that. Like, no, I was an academic person in high school. I don't remember learning shit about like
Mhm.
actual health. I remember learning like the food pyramid when I was like a child, which, is
Yeah.
as much about anything that I got.
That's interesting because I guess my question to you would be like, if you put yourself in those shoes again, like who you were back then, pre like love lifting and stuff, a bookworm,
Mhm.
and someone tried to educate you on fitness, would you have cared?
Yes,
You would
I
have
think
cared.
so. I would
Yeah.
have. Yeah. If you're talking to me about if it's something, and I think this is like most people who are when you see them like whether they're very academic or very like sports driven or something, but if you give them like something where it's like, hey, here's this like information
Mm.
and you can there's ways for you to improve, right? Like it's a game, like you can go from
Mhm.
here to here to here, here's the information to do that, and then like they're gonna be like, oh crap, like I'm gonna do it, like
Yeah.
I want to just like get better. And I
Mhm.
think that's because that's kind of how I got into like the whole thing was like I wanted to get better, right? And so I started reading and learning about all this stuff, and it's like, okay, like this is what I got to do. And it's like then you just get into it, and then you're just trying to get better and better. And I think like I was a more academic person, and I had that road I wanted to go down, but there was also like I just naturally had a desire, and I think most people do where they want to get better at something, right? And so that
Mhm.
would give me that outlet. And like I did, even though I was more academically driven, there were things I did growing up that were kind of into the fitness thing. So, like, one thing is I'm really good at push ups, but
Mhm.
I've been doing push ups since I was a kid. Because one night my dad was like, this is how you do a push up. And he, like, used the tile floors on our kitchen to be like, here, put one hand here, go down and go up. And he was
Mhm.
doing push ups. And so from
You're
that
like, I
point
can do
on,
that.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do this every night before going to bed. So every night before going to bed, I would do push ups. And then like the frame of the door from the kitchen to my brother's room had like it was stuck out a little bit. So I that's how I started doing pull ups. So I would like one day I hung there and I was like trying to pull myself up and I couldn't. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing that until I get pull ups. So by the time high school came around, I would be knocking out pull ups. And that's, you know, like it just gave me something to work towards. So I would have been like, in hindsight, like, I wish I had someone or some resource that was like, hey, this is like the basics of health
Mhm.
and strength and conditioning and all that, so that I could have gotten into it a little earlier. It all worked out in
Yeah.
the end, but
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's definitely interesting. I think to clarify, I'm not saying don't put these arbitrary tests in, but to what you just said, put the arbitrary tests in to like just force is a weird word, but like can like corral people into being a little more physically active, but then educate people as to why we're doing
yeah,
it. And I think
yeah,
that sometimes gets missed. It's like we just got to do the test. It's like, oh.
yeah, yeah. I
Because
agree.
I wouldn't have cared. I cared because it was a competition, but yeah, I'm also an outlier. You couldn't have told me anything at a certain point to get me to care about myself. So I was smoking cigarettes, and people were like, "Those are gonna kill you," and I was like, I fucking hope they do it quickly. You know, like we would get cigarettes from like Mexico, and some of those cigarettes have like pictures of people with like smokers lung on the side. That's like, hey, don't do this. And we
Yeah.
would, uh, to be clear to everyone, I was a child, so I have no brain here. We'd be like, haha, that's not gonna be us.
I'm invincible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was an invincible teenage boy. So you could have been like, if you don't work out, you're die, and I'm like, bring it on,
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I think we should do it. We should do the Maha test.
The yeah, I kind of want to do it.
See how fast you can do it. I will say my big critique is how shitty those pull-ups are.
Yes. Okay, I'm so glad you saw that, and the
Dog
push-ups too.
shit. dog shit.
And the push-ups too, yeah.
Yeah, those are some like half-ass. Like anytime someone tells me they can do 100 straight push-ups, that's how they do push-ups. I know how you do push-ups. Terribly, and like the comments, if you open it, no rep, no rep, no rep, no rep. And I would say
Yeah.
that. As a
Yeah.
like in CrossFit, you're getting no reps on all those.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the push-ups, because there's some funny things with some of the rules. Like, are we doing 50 kipping pull-ups? Because then you just like, or butterfly pull-ups? Because then it's just like, whatever.
Yeah. Is it chest to bar? Is it just chin over bar? Like that's
I say
also
chin
another.
over bar, chest over bar is like a whole different level of pull-ups.
It is crazy,
To be
yeah.
able to get like sternum to touch, I've got like 2 or 3 of those, and then it starts to pull down. But like some people will like almost like planche, like lay flat and do pull-ups like
Yeah.
all the way there. I'm like, I don't get it, whatever. But yeah, if anyone is like super, if you love the movement, great. Go watch the video. Day and I are telling you, terrible pull-ups, terrible push-ups, none of them count. They didn't do the thing. That's my official answer. They didn't do
Yeah.
shit. I mean, they did it, but
Yeah.
it's like writing, being like, you have a paper to write. Here's the parameters. And they're like, I'm done. And you're like, it's supposed to be 50 pages. And they're like, well, I did 25. That's what that test was, just so everyone knows, from my
Yeah.
perspective. And
That's a
they
good
handed them
analogy.
25 pages for a 50-page paper. They're
Yeah.
terrible. They're so bad.
They're so bad, but I'm like, hey, yeah.
But they're in better shape than most people, so.
Yeah. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Yeah, 50 pull-ups in 3 minutes. Some people are finished. Well, some of those Marines, like you said, are absolute dogs. You can't compare yourself to them. They're weird. They're broken inside.
They're definitely
They joined the Marine
they
Corps.
yeah,
Something's
they
wrong.
definitely like hold their standards in that realm, and I really respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. I think that's it. I
Cool.
mean, we're at an hour, dude.
Yeah.
That went quick.
That did go quick.
That was fast as hell.
Sweet.
All right. Day, the outro, huh?
Everyone.
I'm just do it.
Subscribe,
do it.
like,
Yes.
share.
Oh my day, come on, dude. You gotta say something crazy, like your dog's gonna kill them or something,
Oh, my dog's gonna do that regardless. He hates us. He like is devising an evil plan, but he loves us at the same time.
Ozzy would love you if you liked and followed and
Yes.
commented.
That would
And
be
maybe
great.
if you like, follow, and comment, Day will bring Ozzy on the video camera and you guys can
Yes.
see that little face up close.
Yes. Oh,
I know
I
your
love him.
angles, Day. Come on,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Everyone
just
does love Ozzy. He is a lovable guy.
He's great, dude.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's a lot, but
As
he's.
soon as we get a shirt, he's the mascot.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no question. That dog's the mascot.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's a character, dude.
All right, you freaks of nature. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll try to get a guest on with maybe someone with the name that starts with the letter C, and then maybe someone with a name that starts with the letter J. But he doesn't listen to this, so that'll be a surprise for him. Yeah, maybe Carmen. Maybe Carmen's gonna be the first one, huh?
She's gotta be.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. All right.
Cool.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow us on Instagram,
share all the things.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't, Ozzy's gonna kill you at night. Goodbye.
Yeah, he will.